Day.
You
Oh my
said you're
God.
performing.
Oh yeah. So Comedy
Yeah.
Day was in San Francisco. It was at Golden Gate Park. They
Uh-huh.
did it for years and years and years.
Yeah.
I think they only stopped it recently, but it was a free event at Golden Gate Park. And
Mhm.
Golden Gate Park is fucking huge. And it was like 30,000 people,
Yeah.
which it makes no sense.
I mean, that's insane.
It's insane. It was thankfully a beautiful sunny day in San Francisco.
Mhm.
In the middle of summer, and these fools came out for this free comedy show, and basically it was like the lineup was felt fucking forever.
Yeah.
Almost everyone just got 3 minutes,
Mhm.
and definitely like the newcomers got 3 minutes.
Mhm.
But so like the first, I don't even know, like first like few hours is just like the new people because it's like noon or some shit. It was like pretty brutal.
Yeah. Noon is when it started.
It
Oh.
started something crazy early.
Were there people there at noon?
Oh my God, yeah. This is like a thing that people did every year. They came early to get good seats.
Wow.
Huge stage.
How
But
long
it was
would it,
free.
how long would it last?
All day. It
all
was one of
day.
those, maybe I shouldn't say all day, but it was like hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours.
Oh my God.
And so, and because it was a free event, you were also performing for free.
Yeah.
And which, you know, the younger comics don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
We're definitely there. But it's the surprise comics that people are the most excited because they know someone's good is going to show up. Because comedy in San Francisco, especially back in the day, used to be booming. And so, yeah, I did my 3 minutes and it was pretty. It's like you can't even say it was brutal because it's 30,000 people outside. You have like
and outside is another
the waves of laughter. It was weird. It was like really a test of mental strength.
Yeah,
because I was like, you're not bombing.
Yeah,
but you're not killing, even if you are killing, because you're literally outside. The laughs go up. For those who don't know, the perfect venue for comedy is small venues with low ceilings.
Not outside.
Generally, like 50 to 200 people is like some of the best seating for a comedy in small spaces, low ceilings. I really don't understand why more comedy specials aren't filmed in comedy clubs that are tiny, but whatever.
Outside just reminds me of COVID comedy. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Triggered.
Yeah,
oh my
we
God.
can talk about that shit.
Woof.
But it was cool because all my family went. We came from Modesto. We were in my mom's Tahoe, fucking jam packed, and there was a bunch of us. I think my nephew was there. We were matching. We were wearing matching Bart shirts, and my dad was there. My mom was there, and then it was one of the first times I felt like legitimate because Robin Williams was also performing,
which is crazy.
So I do have it in my resume, my bio that says that I shared a stage with Robin Williams because I did, and that he was one of those like kind of guaranteed to be there comedians because he's from San Francisco. He started in San Francisco. He lives in San Francisco, and he did. He eventually popped up, and it was really close to when I performed. So it was like, oh my God, I was so happy. That was like, I think, in my opinion, it was the first time my dad was impressed with something I did because Robin Williams was there. Yeah.
So did you get to perform towards the later half of the day? Like
no,
you were,
fuck no. It was early as shit.
Oh damn.
Yeah, no, girl. I was only a few years into comedy. I was a few years into comedy. I was not very good.
So is that like that brunch time shit?
Oh man, it was like, I think I don't remember if it was on a Saturday or a Sunday. I still have the pictures. I bet I could pull up the exact date that it was. But it was really cool. But it was one of those like early experiences of like a huge audience and like and being like, this is not gonna feel good, even though it does feel good, and people are gonna watch it and go, this is great.
Yeah.
But it was like a real mind fuck, real will of strength, mental strength, because
3 minutes in general is
it's
a
tough,
mind fuck.
Let alone
but outside,
dude. So that's the thing. A lot of people don't realize is when you're performing, if the space is bigger, you do have to pace yourself differently. Like when you do a theater show, which is what people usually are used to, is like 1,000 to 10,000 people. I think the biggest theater I performed at was 7,000, and that pacing is different. You really have to like, slow it down.
Because you can't hear you're waiting to hear when the laughs end and the flow.
Yeah, it's literally like, like the joke goes out there. It hits them, they laugh, and then the laughs come back at you, and then you can kind of move on. But you have to pace it correctly.
Yeah.
And man, if you fuck up that timing, it really is not a good look.
Yeah.
I'm quite good at it at this point in my career, and so I love doing theater, especially big ones. Because everyone's always terrified. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fun. But I'm usually opening for someone. I'm not doing an hour.
Yeah.
So it's fucking easy when you're opening for someone. But anyways, but that 30,000 outside made no fucking sense.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
That's crazy.
Still makes no sense.
Because, like, especially with the wave and letting it go back, those people that are up front, they're just, like, waiting for you.
Yeah.
But you're like, I'm waiting for them in the back
right.
to
but
laugh
that's
and
the
get
thing,
the joke.
Like that's why it's like you only have 3 minutes, so it doesn't matter. You still have to keep it moving, even if you're not ready. That was a mindfuck on that 3 minutes, was you actually had to go a beat faster than you were thinking that you needed to go. It was a trip, really, really cool experience.
Yeah.
But the largest audience I think I've ever performed in front of. And they were cool. But that reminds me of I have this Robin Williams joke that I'm doing right now. It's about suicide. And it's a really fucking funny joke. But I make fun of Robin Williams, essentially. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating because it's such a fucking good joke. I love doing it, but I can only do it in front of an audience that I know will appreciate it. Because otherwise I'm like, I'm not choosing to bomb in front of these people.
Yeah.
It's a really risky, it's a dark joke. It's a smart joke, but it's super dark, pretty fucking twisted. But it's also like over the top. It has all the elements that you want in a joke. But it's really frustrating to be like, I can't perform it in front of an audience that is not gonna give me what I think and know that the joke deserves, because it takes a lot of energy.
Is that like something that you determine, like maybe like halfway through or like at the top of your set, once you kind of like test the audience to see like, oh, maybe they could fuck with this joke? Do you know what I mean?
I have to know for 100% certain that the audience is with me no matter what I say.
Yeah.
And it takes me a good while,
to
maybe
figure
like
that
a
out.
half hour to figure that out.
Yeah.
And that's like, they have to be with me politically, socially, emotionally, like physically. They got to be there with me. Like everything has to be perfect, because I've definitely done it in front of. I think I've only done it 5 times.
Really?
Maybe that. Maybe
damn,
not
I want to
even
hear
that.
it.
It's a really good.
I
joke.
haven't. Damn.
I'll tell you at dinner.
Okay.
But it's really frustrating because I know when it'll bomb.
Yeah.
And it's not a good feeling because it's not worth the effort. And that's really what it boils down. Is it worth the effort? Because I always think about that when I do impressions. I'm like, is ruining my voice going to be worth the effort for these
Is
people?
it worth the effort? And then also worth the effort of like then having to like pick up the room again after it bombs. Like it's just like, who is this? Who is this for?
And then that's the other thing, is if you do a joke that bombs hard and you're talking about heavy topics like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, girl, it's really hard to pick that up, because you can pick it up doing other stupid shit. You can kind of, change the vibe. But when you talk about dork shit,
I haven't done that, but I've witnessed it, and I feel for the comedian, because I thought it was funny.
Right.
I thought it was so funny.
The humor, right.
But the audience is like you could hear a pin drop, and I'm like, oh no, he's never gonna come back.
Yeah.
And he didn't. He definitely did not come back. Yeah, it was really. But I told him, I literally was like, don't give up on that. I was like, this is just not the audience for that. But I was like, it is a well written fucking joke.
Right.
I was like, it's very good.
And that's what's frustrating, is when you know yourself.
Yeah.
You have to like be like, no, this is not. It's not worth the bomb. Like you do have to kind of make that adjustment. But I do love when it works. I'm like, these are Marcella super fans, because this is like, wow, they went on this journey with me, and it was great. But with that being said, comedy is dead because of audiences.
Yeah, comedy is dead because of audiences.
Audiences are just, I wish you guys weren't so fickle. I wish you guys weren't so like hot and cold. I wish you wouldn't turn your backs on a comic because of one joke.
Yeah.
Because that's what's really irritating. I've seen it happen.
People aren't open-minded.
They're not open-minded. And it's like, damn, that's what these 2 drinks are for. That's why you have a 2-drink minimum.
Yeah.
So you can just loosen your butthole up.
Yeah.
And take these jokes. Because that's what they are. They're just jokes at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If they're really affecting you, need to reflect, which is what's so frustrating. Because I'm like, everybody needs therapy before they start enjoying all types of comedy.
And also like recognize too, like if it's a Tuesday night, we're both here on a I think that's what I don't understand. Like you bought tickets to this show on a Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Like, let's just choose to have fun.
Yeah.
Let's just choose to have fun.
Yeah.
Like,
you already made this mistake.
Yeah.
Like, make it count.
Make it count.
Make
like,
it count,
you're here. You spent money. Let's have fun.
It's so maddening when people show up to comedy shows. Okay.
Let it out.
It's maddening when people show up to comedy shows and they're not there for a good time.
Yeah.
Whatever. What is more maddening than that?
Yeah.
Because people always say laughter is infectious. It is. It's contagious. Like, if you laugh, I laugh. It's like yawning. But also true is the fact that a bad attitude is also contagious.
Oh my God.
Because when people aren't laughing, then the people around you aren't going to laugh. And the people around them are not going to laugh.
Yeah.
And because people start being like, are we not? People are so fucking insecure.
Well, it's also like, wait, am I allowed to laugh at that?
Yeah.
And wait, oh, okay, you're laughing? I'm laughing now.
Yes.
Or like, oh, you're not laughing? Yeah, that was bad. And it's like, no, you can also laugh. Like, let's figure this out together.
Yeah.
Like, let's go on this journey together.
This is a place to learn. Learn about yourself. Learn about your friends.
This is a comedic TED Talk. Like, come on now.
Learn about your community and the people around you.
What's your worst audience experience?
Oh, I don't,
Do you not have and I think, okay, I will also say too, because we were talking about venues, like performing outside. I think audiences also involves the venue space itself too. Sure. Right? Yeah. Because it's just like, I have had really good audiences, but the venue itself sucks.
Right.
Like, just like, not like the club itself, but just like the setup. The setup sucks.
What's crazy too is like, because people always think that a good audience means like 1,000 people. Oh my God. And it's like, no, it could be 50 people.
Some of my favorite audiences have been 20 people in a small, intimate room. Incredible.
It's almost like you're kicking it with friends.
Yes.
Who you're telling a story at a party.
And I call it a campfire. I'm like, this is my campfire. Yeah. Let's fucking get into it.
I hear that. I don't want to say like worse audiences because to that where it's like there's so many extenuating circumstances that adjust the perspective of your experience.
Yeah.
But we were talking about just before this, we were talking about there was a venue that I was doing my first headlining weekend there, and it was one of the worst shows on the Saturday night because instead of giving me a show Thursday, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, which is pretty standard, they gave me 2 shows Friday, 3 shows Saturday to headline, which is 3 hours of performing, which is fine, but would have been fine actually if the audience wasn't like papered and they didn't fucking hate me, because that was the reality is they fucking hated me. I ended up having to like go into the audience just to like be like, I'm not scared, like very Bernie Mac, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
Well, because they were conservative, right?
They were super conservative, super white. They really fucking hated me.
Yeah.
And it was brutal, and it was just that thing of like, oh, this sucks. And it's also like when you're first headlining, you are learning what the venues are, right? And the one thing that I think a lot of young comedians, and me included, you don't realize, you think that all the nights are going to be great because you're like, I'm headlining, finally, I'm following my dream, that's happening. And then you can't sell tickets, and then they paper hella shows. Papering means that they gave away free tickets to the show. That's what we mean when we say papering a room.
Yeah.
Because people didn't spend cash to be there. But the venue doesn't care because what they want is those 2 drink minimums, and that supplements their expenses, which is fine. Again, show business. It's the business side of show business. But when you are in a room where it's like really obvious these people fucking hate you, you are just like, oh, what a terrible experience this is. I'm such a new headliner. I do know how to handle this just because I'm a bitch and I know how to handle shit.
Yeah.
But it's so frustrating when you're like, oh, I'm not going to perform here again. And that is kind of sad. You know, when you realize you don't want to be at a venue and you aren't going to be asked back, but also you don't want to be asked back.
Yeah.
You don't want to come back. And so it's really frustrating when you have these audiences. I guess what makes it more frustrating is that you know that your audience is out there.
Yeah.
They just haven't found you yet, or the venue doesn't know how to market to them, or whatever. Because there's so many reasons why you're not selling tickets.
Yeah.
And sometimes some venues cater to only one type of audience, which is pretty common.
Which is so common and so annoying. And I feel like earlier on too, you're like, oh my God, it's me, and you're like, no, this just isn't the space for me, and that's like okay. Like, cause that's what that venue is gonna do. Right. If they're only gonna advertise towards that type of demographic, okay, then I'm not going to find my audience there. So why am I gonna consistently force myself into that space?
Right.
That doesn't make sense.
So it gets really frustrating when you are realizing that reality as you're touring. As you're touring. You know?
Like in the middle of your set, you're like, oh yeah, this is I'm not coming back here.
No, and I still have to do another hour. Cool.
Yeah. That's crazy.
What about you? Do you have like a worst?
I don't know if it's the worst. I'd say like the weirdest one was performing while people were eating dinner. I think that really threw me because I could hear the clink clank throughout my entire set, and then like of people just like eating, and then people talking, and then people ordering, and it wasn't a like typical club where people are like actually ordering food.
Was this a comedy club?
No, it wasn't a comedy club. Okay. It was literally like, it was part of a festival, which like, I love festivals, but festivals will literally put shows up anywhere. Anywhere. So this one was like in like a restaurant. It was in a restaurant that kind of had like a back venue where you could do stuff. But the acoustics, the reason I could hear everything is because the acoustics were horrible. So I could hear everything that was happening in the back. I could hear everything that was happening here. I could hear the knife on the steak. I could hear grandma talking to her grandson about the nacho order.
Sounds like the acoustics were outstanding.
I know. You know what I mean? Like it was too much in the sense of like I remember like the microphone like wasn't overpowering what was happening out there. So then I was like projecting at some, and then I also felt like I was like shouting. It was just like, it was me constantly, and I think I was like first up. And 2 people had dropped, so nice. I was only supposed to do 7, and then they're like, "Can you do 15?"
Oh, cool.
And I was like, "Well, everyone is still ordering food. Sure. I will absolutely do that." And the host did 5 minutes, so I was like, "Okay, so I'm hosting tonight." Yeah. So I would say that was like my weirdest experience, but on the flip side of that, because performing in a space that is really not meant for comedy, I was in Alaska and I did a brunch show.
Okay.
And it was for another festival, and it was in like this breakfast ice cream spot. And I honestly had the time of my life because I loved how they did a 2 p.m. brunch show for the old biddies. They were like, we got to have something for old biddies. And I had the time of my life. The acoustics weren't great, but all the old biddies were fucking into it. Yeah. They were like, say more. This is great. Keep going. And I'm like, okay, I'll perform more in an ice cream shop. Like,
Alaska
fun. Alaska was fun.
Yeah, I've been to Alaska once, and there were some of the best audiences I've
ever
performed.
Good.
Yeah, they were so fun.
They
were
showed up
down
for
to clown.
every comedy show. They wanted to hear what you wanted to say. They were in it. And I was really worried because it was a 2 p.m. brunch show in like an ice cream shop.
No, the thing is they don't have a lot. They don't have a lot of options for comedy is what I to understand when I went there. And they're just like so ready to buy tickets to whatever you're ready to put together. Yeah, they were really
and
cool.
respectful too. Which then made me think like, oh, okay, all these like places in Chicago or cities. I was like, you bitches are spoiled.
Yeah, they are.
So you're not coming in appreciative of the art form. What the fuck?
I mean, that's what happens.
Yeah.
In terms of like weird venues, I will give a shout out to Atlanta because I've only performed in Atlanta once. We sold 12 tickets.
Yeah.
Part of it was the venue was not doing anything to help sell tickets.
Yeah.
And it was that thing where I was like, do you want to call it? Do you want to do the show? Do you not want to do the show? And I was like, well, 12 people are here. Let's fucking give them a show. I don't give a fuck. You know? I've performed, the open mics for so many years at 12 people. You're like, 12 paying customers? Fucking, let's do it.
Yeah, let's fucking
bonfire
do it.
Shit. But, and I literally I talked to every single person. I made fun of everybody. I was doing some jokes, some, just mostly crowd work because I was like, fuck it. I sat down, which I never do. And
I love that shit.
And it was cool because years later, because it was one of those things where I was like, whatever, it's just another fucking fucked up experience. Yeah. I'll move on. But years later, I remember like reading a comment because there was like a thread of like, what's your favorite show you've ever seen live? It's like stand up. And someone had replied, this comedian, Marcella Arguello, she, something happened with the venue. They didn't sell a lot of tickets. There was only 12 tickets sold. She was like, they were like, but this was one of the funnest shows I've ever experienced. It was so intimate, but it was also so unique. It was he just went on and on. I was like, oh my God, I thank you so much. Because also like, hey, I'll put on a show, but it's that thing where it's like, it doesn't matter if it's 30,000 or 12 people. If people aren't in it and having a good time and don't come with a good attitude and don't come to laugh and don't come with an open mind, it's like, dude, what the fuck? This is going to be fun.
Well, and people, I feel like, undersell or underappreciate, some comics underappreciate the smaller crowds.
Absolutely.
Or like, oh, it's only 4 people. Because like, I did a show a couple weekends ago.
Well, I might not perform in front of 4 people, but yeah.
But I was there, first of all, because they were like, oh, the producers were very kind. They were like, okay, like, we didn't sell a lot of tickets, but they were like, if you don't want to perform, like, that's totally fine. And I literally was like, I'm working on new shit. I'm fucking
You're
here.
here, yeah.
Like,
that's always the thing
I'm
for
fucking
us.
here.
Like, I'm here.
Like, no, and I was like, do I need to go home? Do I want to go home? Yeah, but I was like, I'm fucking
the house already?
I parked. Did I pay for parking? I did. And also, I kind of want to get paid still. So I was like, no. I was like, I'll stick around. And a couple more people filed in, and it ended up being like 6 people. But I had so much fucking fun. Yeah. I worked on newer shit. I found new shit. And I felt like I was able to develop, like you said, like individual relationships with each of them to the point where they're like, you're so funny. Like, I didn't know about you. Like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, this is a win for me because if I would have went home, I wouldn't have discovered all of this fucking shit.
Baby steps type shit.
But
that's the other thing is like, if those 4 to 6 people had a bad attitude, it would have made it worse.
It would have made it worse.
You know? And that's the thing. It's like, there is a relationship when you perform at these venues, and it's so frustrating sometimes because so often you hear comedians say, you should never blame the audience. You should never blame, like, you're bad if you're blaming. But it's like, no, but it's a exchange happening here. When the audiences come in with attitude or prejudice or whatever, because that can be race, it could be gender, it could be, sexuality. There's just so many things that people can come in with their little stinky attitudes with. And if they aren't having an open mind to have a good time and listen to whatever someone's perspective is, like, how is this going to be fun?
Yeah.
That was what was frustrating with that Leah Sampson special, specifically hers, because she had so many ups and downs, little, hidden twists and this and that, and a lot of technique. She had a lot of technique.
Yeah.
And I appreciated the technique, but the audience was, the live audience was not. And it was really frustrating because then when she had her, because there's like those easy jokes and then there's like the hit.
Yeah.
And she's really good at that. And the
like
easy
the
jokes,
Rex.
and the easy jokes, it's like you just want to loosen the audience up a little bit, and you want them to really pop with that big one. But what ended up happening was sometimes they'd be like, oh, and then by the time she hit her big one, they were just like, oh no, and it was like, no, you are doing this wrong.
Yeah,
you as an audience, as a collective, are doing this wrong.
It was fair. Yeah, that audience was not doing her justice at all. And it's like, and it's like when we say audience, it's also circumstance too. Circumstance, like what is the time of day? What has happened that day? Was there a show beforehand? Did they have to wait outside in line in the cold? Was it raining? Like when I've had to walk by people standing outside for Laugh Factory for like an 11 o'clock and it's raining. Oh my God. I was like, I have no idea. Like, and they'd look miserable. I was like, I don't even know if they're going to make it inside.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to make it inside.
And if they make it inside, they're not going to be happy.
No, they're grumpy. Because now they're like, I got to pay for 2 drinks. My hair's wet. Blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh God, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking, and like, I also too have like a very hard time sometimes when I am performing in like more rural or like conservative suburban areas. And when I do certain jokes up top to kind of figure out who's in the audience, when I know that there are a couple of queer people out there, and then I can tell that the rest of the audience is like kind of more so conservative, I really struggle what jokes I want to lean into because I want to do shit for my queer people that I know they are gonna fuck with.
Right.
But then I also, because I've done that, I'm like, fucking, this is for you in the back. And then it's like he silence everywhere else.
Yeah.
So it's like it's still something that I'm trying to figure out.
It's frustrating.
Where I'm like, I want to do my shit for you because you are my audience, but I also don't want to hear silence from Uncle Joe up front right now. Like, I don't, like, he's sitting here like this, and I'm like, okay, I gotta fucking pull something out of the Rolodex for you, my guy.
That's what's frustrating about audiences is, like, people aren't coming with an open mind, and it's just like, I just want to tell my jokes. And, like, it's really frustrating when you're like, oh, I gotta do my, like, when I did that taping with Paul, Paul Leah, I was like, I hadn't performed in a while.
Yeah.
I had performed the night before, but that's different. That's my show. I can do whatever I want with that.
Mm-hmm.
When I do other people's shit, especially a taping, I try to like be mindful. Like, all right, we're gonna do material that works. Like, I'm not trying new shit. Mm-hmm. Like, this is just guaranteed shit to butter them up.
Yeah.
But what I didn't expect was so many conservative people in the audience.
Damn.
I don't know why I didn't expect it.
Well, because it's
you know, I just was like not expecting it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, like this isn't going how I wanted it to go. And then I had to pivot, but even pivoting was uncomfortable.
Damn.
Because I hadn't performed in a while.
Yeah.
And it was that thing where I was like, oh, this little tried and true. Like I knew I fucked up. Like I definitely was not blaming the audience in that situation. I definitely fucked up in that. I made some choices. I could have made better choices, but also on the fly, you know, you make those choices accordingly. You adjust. But it was that thing where I was like, oh shit, I would have had, honestly, I would have just had filthier jokes or something different prepared if I had known they were good. Isn't that funny when someone's like more conservative? I'm like, I'll just do nasty shit for these people because they're just so dumb.
It's the most fucking infuriating thing where I'm like, what do you guys want to hear? Dick and pussy jokes?
And they're like,
yeah. And you're like, oh, God.
That sucks.
Yeah, no, conservative audiences are weird. I will say college audiences are... I have, still to this day, I have no idea. I have no idea what to do. I will say one of the weirdest was like a college show, but the overhead lights were on because it was like for like a sorority.
College shows, the lights are always on.
The light, but I did not know when I showed up, and I literally was like, and I was like, are we gonna turn the lights off? And they're like, no, the lights are on. And I was like, we're
in an amphitheater.
I was like, okay, we're in like a classroom. I was like, okay, cool.
It's a lecture hall.
Yeah, and it was, I eventually like warmed up into it and it was great. We had a fun time, but I had never, like, I could see them looking at me, and then I could see looking at them, and I felt like they were like really looking into my soul, and I was like, I feel so judged right now. You are not supposed to see me. I am not supposed to see you. Oh my fucking God. But it was fun because then I did a lot of crowd work for them because that's what they want.
Can be pretty brutal. But college kids aren't they don't know how to be at a comedy show. I mean,
and they're sober.
And they're sober. And they're young. And they have no experience. And they haven't lived. They don't know what their political beliefs are. They don't know what their sexual beliefs are. Like, you're crazy. Talking about, and shout out to Taylor Tomlinson. She built a really good following doing crowd work. Hassan Minaj also built a really good following doing colleges.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But also like when you're like virginal and you don't talk about sex, and you're not like politically because even back in the day Hassan wasn't like super political like he is now.
Because there are a lot of rules and stipulation. Well, every college is different.
Every college is different. Yeah. But if you're like a cornball, you will kill it.
Oh yeah, we kill it colleges.
And that is what it is. These kids are like, they're reading books every single day. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is what they're doing. They have no life. Like, they're doing this thing because it's a free event and they saw it advertised and they don't really care about it and they can leave whenever they want.
I also forgot how college kids dressed.
Oh my God. The worst.
It was
slobs.
It was so bad.
It was so bad.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, one guy only had like one shoe. And I was like, get it together, my guy.
Yeah.
Get it together.
Yeah, college shows are not great, but they're also a great way to pay your bills and a great way to get experience and to experience doing like long, headlining, doing longer sets. But like that's brutal. That's a brutal one. And you can't even be mad at them because they're just kids.
Because they're just kids, and like truthfully too, a lot of the people that, or at least the ones that I've experienced, I've only known a couple, they don't know, the people that are booking it don't know a lot about comedy and how to set up a room. Because the girl that I traveled with to do the show, I literally was like, where are the microphones?
Yeah.
And I was like, do we have like a stool? And they're like, you can have this chair. And it was like this giant ass chair. And I was like, sure, okay, I was like, I guess I'm giving a conference speech after this. But another show a college show that I did, Marcella, it was not even in an enclosed room.
Oh.
When I tell you, and first of all, I wasn't gonna shit or be upset because the money was good. I was like, I will perform in a basketball court.
That's what college gigs are for, paying the bills.
But it was like that middle area room where like college students walk through to get between classes.
Okay.
And they had myself and the other comic. They were up front, but it was an open space. So people that were
walking, not like a cafeteria space.
No, not like a cafeteria. Hall. No, not like a dining hall, but like almost like a study hall space.
Okay.
It's like a study hall space. So people that didn't even know a comedy show was happening, they didn't know it was happening until they were going from class to class. And they were like, what's going on here? And then I'm like doing my joke, and then a kid with his backpack is standing right there, like staring at me. And I'm like, okay. I was like, go forth.
Yeah. But the thing is, from the perspective of those college students that put the thing together, like, oh, it'll be perfect. People will be coming out of class and they'll see this comedy show happening. They'll want to come. And it's like, that's not how that works.
No.
But they don't know.
They don't know. But I was like, the money, I was like, the girl that I traveled with, we were like, we don't give a fuck. I was like, we both did 30 minutes and we maybe had 10 people total end up like sitting down and shit. And we were like, this is... But then we're like, money, the things we do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But those are like not real comedy audiences. Those are like how you like learn to deal with fucking
crazy
chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos. Yeah. Absolute chaos.
And I'm always grateful for those, though.
Absolutely. Like, you learn from everything. Yes. And also, those shows
build character.
They don't just build character, but they prep you for those really shitty audiences.
Yes.
Because those kids aren't shitty audiences.
No.
They just don't know how to be at a comedy show. They're too young. They have no life experience. Like, why would they? Like, this is a free event. Like, they have nothing else to do. They wish they were getting drunk somewhere. They wish they weren't studying. They're just glad not to be in their room or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I always appreciate those types of shows.
Yeah. They're really. I mean, every show is worth learning from. Yeah. But the really good thing about college shows is they teach you how to get ready for daytime shows.
Oh, that's
because
so real.
when it's interesting that you said the lights were all on. It's like, yeah, dude, when you like tape stuff, when you do stuff during the day, when you have these events, you are in the fucking daylight.
Yeah,
and it's a mind fuck as a stand-up. To like, oh shit, oh, this is like a thing. Oh, okay, but you go, oh, you know what? I did those college shows. Like, I know how to be under fluorescent lights. And do my bit, because I think that's the other thing as stand-ups is like you want to be like in a dark room where you can't see everybody, and you know, because you feel like nobody can see you even though they can.
Yeah.
But you just don't want to see everybody because you can see that judgment. Yeah. You know, you can see those eyes rolling and shit. But college shows prep you for daytime shows, which can be anything. You could corporate gigs, whatever, Christmas gigs, you know.
Fucking brunch
shows, yeah.
Lights are up.
Yeah, the lights are up. And you do need to be ready to do that shit. And when you're doing stand-up for a long time, you just think like, oh, it's going to be dark. It's going to be, you know, at nighttime. But no, dude, the money's in the daytime, baby.
Well, and I think doing those types of shows really helped set a precedent for me to where it was like, yeah, anything can happen. Any show that I book, I was like, I have now prepared myself to walk in with an even more open mind.
Right.
To be like, yeah, okay, this is what we're doing. We're performing in a bowling alley.
Yeah.
And while people are bowling.
Yeah.
And that's
and that will make your skin so thick.
Not only that, was it in a bowling alley where people were bowling, but the bar was in a round. So even the audience members that were over here couldn't even see the comedian. Love it. I was like, okay.
Yep, that's what happens.
Okay.
That's what happens. The other thing I think that's really fucking up audiences, we've talked about this before because I've talked about it in regards to like Ralph's audience.
Yeah.
Is the algorithm, because people are like, everything is being catered to them in their feed on their phones.
Yeah.
And then when they go see live comedy, they're just kind of like stunned at like what they're seeing, because they're like, I didn't sign up for that. I came for this person, not for you.
Yeah.
But that is almost like how conservatives watch comedy, where it's like, well, I want to watch Bob Newhart, not you.
Yeah.
And they think that comedy is only one thing. It should only be one thing. And you should be able to relate to every single thing that is said on stage. It's like, no, dude, that's the algorithm like brainwashing you into thinking that comedy should only be one thing. And I think that's really fucking with people. And it's just such a bummer that like people aren't experiencing just different perspectives in stand-up, because I feel like that's how you fucking expand your mind. But maybe that's what people don't want. They don't want to expand your mind. Think about it, y'all. They don't want you to expand your mind.
They don't want you to. The algorithm doesn't want you to expand your mind. They only want you to watch what you want to watch, and really shitty crowd work clips.
That's right.
Oh yeah, the crowd work clips too.
Crowd work clips. People are coming. People are coming to watch crowd work.
Only crowd. Well, because I was like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to see a little bit of crowd work. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But if you leave a show disappointed because you didn't see crowd work,
weird.
That's weird.
That's weird.
That's so weird.
Yeah. You should be happy to laugh.
Yeah.
That's it. You should just go to laugh.
Yeah. Like, I truly, and I kind of, I wonder if, like, well, I think, like, COVID is also to blame with this. Well,
oh sure,
like, I feel like audiences were not this quote unquote
bad,
brain dead, bad, brainwashed, like, coming in entitled. I think that's what it is. Like, some audiences will come in like, well, this is what I came to expect, and it's like, it's a fucking showcase, dude.
Yeah,
like, you're not watching a headliner here. Like, this is a showcase. So yeah, I feel like COVID is, it kind of fucked us.
It did. And you brought up the outside shows. Did you do those drive-in shows?
I didn't do drive-in shows, but I did do just, like, outside shows. I think I did 5 of them, and I just, to the point where I was like, why am I here? Because there was one that was, like, near the lake, and I was like, okay, so not only am I hearing the birds, I am also hearing the water splash up against the wall, and I can't even hear if the audiences are laughing or not. So at this point, I'm talking to myself. Like, I hated it. I couldn't do them anymore. Like, they're really bad.
I did the drive-in shows with Felipe.
Yeah.
That was the only time I did it, was when Felipe asked. I was like, oh, this is an experience. And I'll get paid, so I don't even care.
Yeah.
It was awful. Yeah. Those drive-in shows were awful, but it was like a cool experience of, like, people literally honking to, like, cheer you on.
I don't even know if Chicago had drive-in shows here.
Yeah, in California they had a lot.
Yeah.
And it was I knew what a dumb bitch I was, because I go out and I do my joke, and I'm, I got a good reaction. Yeah. By good reaction, I meant, like, people were honking, right? And I'm such a fucking, I love cars. I love men in cars. I'm that dumb bitch that men rev their cars. That's for me. I'm that bitch. When a guy, like, does something with his car, or he fucking takes his drop,
oh yeah, his singing. Like,
yeah. The lowriders, when he starts doing that shit, all that shit, I'm always like, ooh, oh, ooh, 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 right? That's me. I love a fucking old car too. But anyways, I did a joke and somebody, like, honked. Yeah. And I automatically stuck my butt out, and I was like, oh, what was that? Oh, was that for me? Like, I was like, oh shit. My instinct when I hear a car honk is to stick my butt out. And I was like, that's not right. There's something wrong with me.
That's hilarious.
That's what I learned about myself doing those driving
I would have
shows.
had an opposite reaction. I would have been, like, ready to fight if I hear a car, because
I'm
weird. Ready to fight.
I will say, I did not know how I was going to react to, like, people, because they were like, oh, people are probably going to honk. And I was like, what do you mean people are going to honk? You're like, they like you because you can't laugh, because you can't hear them. They're laughing in their cars. But they will honk to let you know they're enjoying themselves. And I was like, okay. And it was there's that honk outside. But I was like, it was so weird. And at first I was like, oh, I can tolerate that. But it really was like, every time I heard a honk, I was like, oh. And I was like, oh my God, I'm a hoe. I am a common street whore.
She's a whore.
It was really fun, but that was one of my favorite audiences, in the sense of, like, it was one of the worst audiences. Yeah. But it wasn't, because I actually have no clue if these people found me funny, but the honking let me know that some people found me funny. So it was probably one of the worst audiences, but one of the best audiences, because it was such an insane experience. I was really glad I got to do them. Yeah, I did, like, maybe 3 or 4 with Felipe. It was not my favorite.
That's so fun. I had never, I mean, I didn't even know that those shows were happening, honestly, because I don't think Chicago did that.
Because we still have old drive-ins in California.
True. Yeah.
And so they have the system all set up where you can listen. Yeah. We listen on their radio. People would listen on their radio, but they could also, put the back of their trucks down, the beds of their trucks, and they could sit there and listen, because it was amplified. Yeah. But if you wanted to listen to on your radio, which is what you do at a drive-in, you just put your windows up. It was bizarre, dude. There it is.
That's
and
for
on
you.
That's
for you.
Ooh. And on that, you guys, this is season 2 of Comedy is Dead, and we want to appreciate you guys for checking us out, listening. We will be clipping all this shit up and force you to rewatch it.
Rewatch it. Like, share, love us. Yeah. Do it. Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Bye.